3 days. That's how long it took for the done deal between Netflix and Warner Brothers to turn into an all-out corporate war. On Friday, Netflix announces they've won the bidding war. Ted Sarandos is popping champagne. David Zaslav is planning his exit. It's over. Warner Brothers, the studio that gave us Casablanca, Batman, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, is going to the streaming giant. And then on Monday morning, David Ellison wakes up, chooses violence, and drops a $108 billion hostile takeover bid backed by his billionaire daddy, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, and oh yeah, Jared Kushner. This is no longer just a sale. This is accusations of hidden offers, ghosted bids, and a board that might need a very, very good lawyer. You literally can't make this stuff up. This is Succession, but real. And somehow even more unhinged. Welcome back, my fellow critical nerds. If you're new here, this is the channel where we talk about Hollywood like it actually is. Broke, desperate, and setting itself on fire for our entertainment. Today's episode, Paramount goes nuclear, the $108 billion hostile takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery. Here's the quick version. Netflix deal last Friday. Buys WB Studios, HBO Max, DC, TNT Sports for about $72 billion in equity, $82.7 billion enterprise value, roughly $27.75 per share. So it's a mix of cash and Netflix stock. Paramount deal comes in hot with $30 per share, all cash for the entire company, valued around $108.4 billion. And an SEC filing says WBD's board may have ignored that higher all-cash offer before rushing into Netflix's done deal. In this video, we're breaking down what Netflix actually bought, how Paramount's hostile bid works, whether WBD's board betrayed shareholders, who's funding the circus, Ellison's, Saudis, Kushner, what it means for DC, HBO theaters, and fans, and how this mess could actually end. But before we dive in, I want you guys to do me a favor. This helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Smash that like button, drop Netflix or Paramount in the comments, and if you enjoy watching Hollywood implode in real time, hit subscribe and join this madness. So, what Netflix thought it won? Let's rewind back to last Friday. Warner Brothers Discovery, drowning in debt and bad decisions, agrees to sell Warner Brothers Studios, HBO and HBO Max, DC Entertainment, TNT Sports, and that insane library from Casablanca to Game of Thrones, all to Netflix. Under the Netflix deal, WBD shareholders get around $27.75 per share, about $23.25 in cash, roughly $4.50 in Netflix stock. Total value, $82.7 billion enterprise, about $72 billion in equity. What Netflix is not buying in this deal, CNN, TBS and TNT, we're talking the cable TNT, Discovery Channel, HGTV, Food Network, etc., etc., etc. Those get spun off into a new cable zombie called something like Discovery Global, which shareholders will enjoy in 2026. Those get spun, Netflix walks away with the crown jewels. WB, HBO, DC, TNT Sports, plus a streaming platform and a library older than your grandparents. They're so confident this works that they agreed to a breakup fee of up to $5.8 billion if the deal dies. That's some serious we're all in money there. Put it all together, Netflix suddenly becomes the number one streamer, owning the number 3 streamer, sitting on 300 million plus subs plus WBD's base and a gigantic slab of Hollywood history. Which is why about 5 seconds later, everyone started screaming, Monopoly! Now here's the part that Netflix didn't put in its press release. Paramount Skydance didn't show up late. They started this whole chain of events. Back in September, David Ellison and Skydance, now merged into Paramount, put WBD in play with an unsolicited bid. Over roughly 12 weeks, they sent multiple offers. Around $19 per share, then $22 per share, then $23.50 per share, then $26.50 all cash. And finally, on December 4th, they came back with $30 per share all cash for the entire company. According to Ellison, they even told Zaslav directly, "We can go higher than $30. And what does the WBD board do? Well, allegedly, they didn't do anything. Nothing. No counter. No, not interested. They just ghosted Paramount. The next morning, WBD announces it's going with Netflix's lower offer. So Paramount flips the table. On Monday, they launch a hostile takeover. $30 per WBD share. 100% cash for 100% of the company. Studio, streaming, cable networks, the whole enchilada. Total value around $108.4 billion. And they just don't do it quietly. They launch StrongerHollywood.com, a whole website basically saying, our offer, more money, all cash, cleaner deal. Netflix's offer, less money, messy, regulatory nightmare. Hostile means they're not waiting for Zaslav's permission. They're going around the board directly to shareholders and saying, sell your shares to us, we'll give you more than Netflix. This isn't just a bidding war. That's a declaration of a corporate war. So that begs the question. Did WBD betray their shareholders? Because it's about to get ugly for WBD's board. Paramount's SEC filing lays out a timeline that, if true, makes WBD management look, well, let's just say, a little less loyal to shareholders. According to that filing, WBD told Paramount, we want more cash, we want cleaner financing, we want a cleaner regulatory path. So on December 4th, Paramount comes back with $30 per share all cash, financing lined up, structure tweaked to address WBD's concerns, and then crickets, silence, no response, no counter. Hey, thanks, but we're going with Netflix. Nothing. The next morning, WBD signs with Netflix instead. Lower headline price per share, mix of cash and volatile Netflix stock. Only part of the company sold with a cable spinoff gamble attached, more regulatory risk. From a shareholder point of view, that raises giant questions. Did the board properly consider a clearly higher all-cash offer? Did they inform shareholders that such an offer was even on the table? And why choose the lower, messier deal? You have to remember, folks, boards are legally supposed to minimize or maximize value for shareholders, run a fair process, at least act like they're not playing favorites. Paramount's message is now basically, we gave them this $30 per share all cash offer privately. They ignored it. So now they're giving you the shot they denied you. Yeah, Paramount's given the shareholders the shot that they were denied. And that's how, folks, you launch a hostile takeover and invite a wave of shareholder lawsuits and SEC questions at the same time. So when we ask, did Zaslav betray WBD shareholders? At minimum, the appearance is, let's just say the appearance is awful. So who's paying for this whole Paramount offer? I mean, where do you get $108.4 billion? I mean, that's, kind of a question that needs to be asked. Well, in short, you get it from Silicon Valley, Wall Street, Middle Eastern sovereign funds, and Jared Kushner. So here's how this all breaks down. Equity, around $40 billion. Larry Ellison and the Ellison family. Redbird Capital, sovereign wealth funds from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, and Affinity Partners, the fund run by Jared Kushner. The debt, around $54 billion, well, that's financed by Bank of America, Citigroup, and Apollo Global Management. To calm regulators, Paramount says foreign investors get no board seats, no voting rights, no governance control. That's designed to dodge, and I'm going to mispronounce this, CFIUS, CFIUS. It's the U.S. committee that freaks out about foreign influence over key media. Also fun here is Tencent was reportedly involved early on with about $1 billion, and now they've been dropped completely. So we traded Chinese tech giant for Saudi and Qatari sovereign funds. Whether you're cool with the Saudis and Kushner having a big economic stake in the company that owns CNN, HBO, and DC, that's a you problem. But that's the money backing Paramount's hostile play. Now let's throw on the political side of things. Let's layer on the politics, shall we? No matter who wins, this deal has to go through antitrust review, media concentration scrutiny, and foreign investment questions, which means the Trump administration and his Department of Justice are in the middle of it. Trump's already been asked about the Netflix WBD deal, and his answer was basically, it's a big market share, it could be a problem, I'll be involved. Netflix has been working the charm offensive, Sarandos at Mar-a-Lago, White House visits to make this easier. Paramount, though, they've got their own angle. Larry Ellison is a Trump ally. Jared Kushner's fund is backing the bid. So Netflix is trying to game this through tech plus consumer arguments. Paramount is walking in with, we're pro-theatrical, pro-jobs, pro-Hollywood, and backed by people you already know. Meanwhile, antitrust hawks on the left called the Netflix deal a monopoly risk. Republicans are also raising antitrust flags. So politically, Netflix is far from a sure thing. Paramount is betting their structure and their backers will look like the easier approval. So what does this mean for you, the fans, myself, anyone out there who's interested in, what's going on with the theaters, DC, so on and so forth? The corporate drama, well, it's fun stuff to talk about, but really, at the end of the day, what does it mean for all of us? Well, if Netflix wins, you get one mega streamer with WB, HBO, DC, TNT Sports, and Netflix's own library under one roof. Is it convenient? Yeah, it's convenient. Terrifying? Yeah, terrifying would be an understatement. The downside? Netflix could control a massive chunk of global streaming subs. They own DC, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, HBO, plus their originals. Theater owners are worried this accelerates shorter theatrical windows, fewer genuine theatrical releases, more films treated as glorified ads for the app. Netflix can promise they respect theatrical, but their history says, we respect your couch more. If Paramount wins, you get a traditional mega studio combining Paramount plus CBS plus Paramount Plus with WB, HBO, DC, CNN, Discovery. They're promising strong theatrical slate to be the pro-Hollywood, pro-theaters alternative to Netflix, but the combined company will be drowning in debt. It'll still be a giant media blob with 2 streamers, tons of cable, and a huge foreign money behind it. So from a fan perspective, your choice is basically, do you want Netflix to own your childhood? Or a debt-loaded legacy monster funded by Saudi sovereign funds and Jared Kushner to own your childhood? Pick your dystopia in the comments below. So here's where we stand in all this. Netflix thought it had Warner Brothers locked up. Paramount has launched its $108 billion hostile takeover to rip it away. An SEC filing suggests WBD's board may have ignored a superior $30 all-cash offer before signing with Netflix. And caught in the middle are DC fans, theater owners, thousands of workers, and shareholders trying to figure out which billionaire is screwing them less. This isn't really who will save Warner Brothers anymore, it's who gets to carve up the body and sell the organs. But I want to hear from you guys out there. Who do you think wins, Netflix or Paramount? And more importantly, which outcome is less bad for fans, streaming and theaters? Drop your take below. I'll be reading through the comments and pulling some of the best ones for a future update when the saga hits its next insane twist. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss the next chapter in this corporate soap opera. And share this with that one friend who still believes Warner Brothers has a plan. I'm the Critical Nerd, and Hollywood is on fire. We'll keep roasting marshmallows until the water tower falls. I'll see you in the next one.